Said my bad, it was my
long anthem.
Pinwheel through the sky. Just how maneuverable they can make this formation. The only thing holding them together now is a leg lock. And of course the constant communication and skill that they employ daily. And just higher in the sky, loitering behind them, a three Skyhawks have built. And you can see, as our very own Master Corporal Jeremy Canfield, the team's senior rigger, and Master Corporal Lenny Couture maneuver this paramedics formation just above the crowd now, heading towards Show Center. As his parachutes come apart, we call that knife edging, and that is how they carve up the sky, as you see, as they bring it back into the wind. And now, they are pretty close to the ground, ladies and gentlemen, so make some noise, because they can definitely hear you as they butterfly back away from the crowd. Carving right back, preparing for their final approach. And looking closer, you can just see now how they are locked together and how they move their toggles in unison in order to bring this formation in nice and close. And as they drive into the drop zone, you can see now, as they break apart finally, looking at close, seeing how they use those toggles to perform two nice, soft, stand-up landings. Your big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Master Corporal Jeremy Canfield and Master Corporal Lenny Couture. And ladies and gentlemen, just above the drop zone now, above Show Center, you can see the bottom Skyhawk of the three SAC has transitioned upside down. Your eyes do not deceive you. Imagine what it would be like for you to look to the top of your canopy and see the ground rushing towards you, and not the sky that you are so accustomed to. As only the strength of Corporal Rob Dryberg is holding on to Corporal Simon Potvin as they burn towards the ground now, exploding apart, dropping the bottom two Skyhawks into a downplane as they plummet towards the ground up to 40 miles an hour. You can see how it is just being held onto by Corporal Rob Dryberg as they move in towards the drop zone, finally breaking apart. And just above them now in the sky, the pilot of the formation, Master Corporal Alexis St. Pierre, has deployed the Royal Canadian Air Force flag. A salute, of course, to the Air Force, to CFB Trenton, and to all the planes that get us to where we need to go. ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause once again to the three-stack drag. Master Corporal Alexis St. Pierre, Corporal Rob Dryberg, and Corporal Simon Potvin. And once again, high in the sky, far to the right, you can see that 130J as it brings it in for our air parachutes, going from the rush of air from their ears to the relative serenity of being underneath the canopy itself. And you can see that forward drive, that 20 miles an hour as they burn through the sky, bringing it back close together. And of course, the quietness that they experience under the parachute itself is how they're able to talk to each other, because it does require constant talking and coordination, not just to obviously get in and attach to each other, but even just to maneuver alongside one another. As traditional skydivers do everything they can to keep away. And high in the sky above them, you can see another formation has built, a three-stack, as it loiters just to the left of them. Spiral in a 180-degree offset rotation as they paint the sky for your viewing pleasure. And it's important to note that not only do they have to keep a constant eye on each other, but they have to pull down hard on one of their steering toggles. And as I was discussing earlier with the tandem parachute, their blood is now rushing to their feet, and they are getting dizzy as they crank it down, not only having to coordinate with each other, but also just withstand the force of gravity that is exerted upon them as they finally spiral out of the candy cane and bring it back towards the drop zone for their final approach. And our candy caners today are Captain Dan Boisjoli and Master Corporal Brendan Morton. Captain Boisjoli is a Armored Reconnaissance Reservist from Calgary. And Master Corporal Brendan Morton is a weapons technician out of Victoria, just demonstrating the variety of members that comprise our team. Where they needed to go. And you can see just below them, the bottom man has deployed smoke as they burn through the sky just now to the right of Show Center. And you can see how the wind shear can affect them as it blows them sideways. And now they transition into the try-by side. The only thing holding them together in this formation is the strength of Corporal Alex Fortin, as there are no straps, nothing connecting them to each other except the sheer grip strength of Alex Fortin as he holds on to Sergeant Jonathan Tremblay and Corporal Jean-Bastien Perret-Pollard as they transition to a downplane as we clock this up to 55 miles an hour, heading straight towards the ground, exploding apart, just demonstrating the tremendous tension that they are under the entire time that these formations are built. And as the try-by-side brings it into the drop zone, let's give a big round of applause for Sergeant Jonathan Tremblay, Corporal Alex Fortin, and Corporal Jean-Bastien Perret-Pollard. Ladies and gentlemen, our last Skyhawks are on the ground, removing